No pussies here.
Only pussies here.
True.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Tori.
I'm Caitlin.
And this is the Bossed Up Bible.
This is the first episode, obviously, because
You've never heard of it before.
oh my god, I'm like choking already on my own spit.
She's already nervous, guys.
I'm so nervous for some reason. I'm like, even though I'm a podcast veteran.
This is literally the second podcast I've ever participated in, and the
Yeah,
only
but
other one was yours. So
that's true also, but you're very good at your elevator pitch.
That's true. My elevator pitch is pretty on par.
Every time me and Tori have meetings, especially with new people, it's like, hi, I'm Tori Green.
What's up, guys? I'm Tori. I'm an influencer. I'm an entrepreneur. I sing. I do so many things.
But that's literally what her elevator pitch sounds like. And mine's like, hi, I'm Caitlin. You guys know what I do because you're all here because of me. What's good? Yeah.
She's like, welcome to my world.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, this podcast is going to be a lot different than Woof. So if you follow me from Woof, I'm sorry, no more butt stuff jokes.
Yeah, no, I think my episode was also about butt stuff when I was on that. So no,
it was about
this
feet.
is not about butt stuff.
Sucking
anymore.
Toes. No, we're not talking about toe sucking anymore.
No, not anymore. We are talking about how we navigate going through life as women in a predominantly male-dominated space of being entrepreneurs and building businesses, and the different trials and tribulations that we go through, and any helpful tips and tricks that we've learned along the way that we are going to share with you. Free of charge. Wow.
Free of charge,
Free of
baby.
charge. You're welcome. All those
Free
years
is for me.
all the years that I got fucked over and learned shit, you guys get to get that knowledge, and
you get to fast track that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I feel like I've been in a year of trial and error. It's been like trial, error.
I feel like my whole
error. And it's hilarious because like all I see is error and everyone sees is success, and I'm like, I guess it's all up to perception. But
well, yeah, I feel like that's all in perception. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about their downs, especially on social media.
On social media.
To the public, they're just like, oh, here are my successes, and you're not like, oh, I'm in the shitter right now, and
yeah, exactly.
I'm broke as fuck because I put all my money into my businesses, and guess we're waiting for those to come through.
Literally, though, I think that's the problem, especially like now in our world, we only see like people's final product, and we never see the whole process of getting there. Obviously, all the hard work and time you put behind it. Also, especially building businesses, a lot of times, you're obviously not getting paid. You know?
No, you're never getting paid. It's all sweat equity, and it's all for belief in the company that you're putting that sweat equity in for. And it's just a serious trial and error process across your life to realize when you need to pull out of that situation and stop giving your time and energy, because although you're not putting money in it that you're going to lose, like, time is money, and that's not a saying for no reason. Like, you spending a year of your life on something that doesn't pan out is not going to feel good when you're a year older, and
especially
have nothing to show.
when you are putting money in it, it's even worse.
Especially when you're putting money in it, it's even worse. A lot of startups and a lot of like stuff you have to do in the beginning of becoming an entrepreneur and really getting yourself out there is sweat equity stuff. It is like believing in projects that aren't your projects, that you're just kind of getting involved to get your network strong, because your network is everything. And that's something that I've definitely learned and continue to learn every day, is that whoever you surround yourself with is the knowledge that you're going to receive. If no one around you is reading, then you're not going to get recommended books. If no one around you is starting a business, then you're not going to be talking about the things that it takes to start a business. If everyone is doing one thing and it's not something that you're focused on or you're trying to succeed in, then you're really cutting yourself short.
Yeah, that being said, your network is your net worth.
Your network is your net worth.
But that's actually very true, because honestly, this past year, I've been in and out of a lot of businesses, and I met a lot of people on the way there, and I realized that a lot of times, even when it is your idea, I know Tori just said that sometimes you're like putting all this sweat equity into other people's projects, and for me, all the projects I put a lot of time and effort into were my passion projects, and they were my ideas. So, and people kind of took them from me and wiped me of everything for that, and it's pretty discouraging and it sucks, but at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself up and keep going and pushing forward. And I think that's one thing that we want to talk about, especially on this podcast, is how to keep pushing forward, especially when you are put in a situation where you feel like you're left with nothing. And at the end of the day, you're not left with nothing. You're left with knowledge.
You're left with yourself. If whatever is not a blessing is a lesson. And I strongly stand by that, because I will fail a billion times, but you'll never see me fail at the same thing twice. I promise you that. Because every time I fail, every time that I don't get the thing that I think I wanted, I learn every single time. So to me, that is not failure at all.
No,
that is a lesson.
I don't think that's failure at all. And I think also we need to understand that everything is happening perfectly. I know that's hard to accept for a lot of people, that things are supposed to fall apart. I don't know if anyone's been listening to Woof, but if you did, I was going through a whole like spiritual healing process for the past few months. And it basically taught me to let go of the things that are not working for me. And in the process, a lot of things did fall apart, as you can see. I'm no longer doing Woof anymore. But at first, I was pretty upset about it. And then I realized, you know what, maybe Woof just ran its course, and that's okay. And we're on to bigger and better things. And ironically, I guess this is kind of like the 1 year of when that all started. Especially, this is when I started on OnlyFans around this time last year. And this is also when I started Woof this time last year in this exact studio on this exact seat. So, like, it all goes full circle.
Literally, the whole thing comes full circle. Life. Technically, how long did you have Woof for?
Technically, we had Woof from November. I think we launched November. And then we blew up on OnlyFans in December. And then we stopped in July. And then episodes came out until September. Like Tupac vibes.
Lived on. Living on.
I was like, this passive cloud be coming my way.
Oh my Lord. But yeah, this is honestly like one of the first times, other than my vlog and my music, like a lot of what I've done in my life is modeling and influencing. So I've pretty much been pushing like other people's agendas and other people's brands my entire life, and building other people's businesses with my likeness. And it's really like empowering to be able to come on here and like share what I actually believe in and what I think about things and how I feel about certain situations and certain views on certain perceptions on things. And just to be able to like, you will see some of our cool friends. You're not seeing them yet because you're not that special
like,
yet. You're not that
they're
lucky.
Cool friends.
But you will see my cool friends at some point, and I'm just really excited to like also put people on that I feel like should be getting more attention for their creativity or for things that they're doing that are on the business side or just being unrecognized because either they don't have the clout yet or they don't have something that y'all need to know.
Well, I think that it's funny that you bring up that you've been pushing other people's brands, because if you don't follow Tori's just a big influencer. Oh, pushing Lounge, pushing Bang, yeah.
Pushing whatever, yeah. Whatever the contract says.
And it's crazy because I am the opposite. Like, I actually came into the influencer space as an entrepreneur. I was always in the startup space, and I grew my following mostly from OnlyFans, obviously, and from Woof. So, but besides that, I was always building startups, and a lot of these startups were my ideas, and people know me as the brains. I'm the brains behind everything. But being the brains behind everything a lot of times is pretty exhausting, especially when you're also the talent. So, and a lot of times people try to separate that out, and a lot of times people think that if you're the talent, you shouldn't be the brains.
Yeah, I'm really used to being underestimated in a room. It's become like very common for me now to be the underdog, to be the one that like people think is stupid or people think isn't going to contribute anything. So that just honestly drove me to be more dedicated to stuff and to be better at things and to excel further, so that when someone finally did like pay attention to me, they were like, oh my God, like how did we sleep on this? So if anything, like,
on me, I'm
like,
bitch.
Bro, underestimate me, please. It only fuels my fire. Like, please consider me the underdog, like,
Dude,
any day.
I love when people underestimate me. I'm like, oh, bitch, you thought.
Bro, it's so much fun, honestly.
I'm like, oh, bitch, you thought. But it's hilarious because now people don't underestimate me. They're like scared of me. They're like, that is a scary person to fuck with. I'm like, because I always come back so much stronger. Like, and it's hilarious because I'm like, it feels like sometimes I'm like, it's like a big fuck you. It's like hoes mad, but like, you know, by the way, Tori's hat says hoes mad. So
my hat does say hoes mad. You're going to see this hat for probably all these episodes. I'm going to be real with you for like this whole month of episodes. You're going to see this hat. We're having a hair dilemma. So the hat is on the head. Hoes mad gets a whole ad space right now. You're welcome. Yeah.
Is that actually mad? Oh yeah, you're pushing someone else's brand. This is why you gotta rep your own merch, bro.
Literally, this is why I need the Bossed Up Bible hat, because then I'll be pushing my own brand.
Exactly.
But you know, we build to things. Everything is a growing process and a learning process, and you don't start at 100, and Rome was not built in a day.
My parents tell me that all the time. They're like, Caitlin, make sure to eat, sleep, and Rome was not built in a day.
Seriously. Bro, because I've never met someone that like matched my like, okay, we want to do this, let's do it right now.
So just so everyone knows, I built a site today. I built the whole site for this podcast.
Literally.
And the branding kit and the marketing strategy and all of it today. And I'm like, let's record for 4 hours straight.
Bro. Well, we live on different coasts, so we kind of have to record everything together, because not only do we live in different coasts, but both of us travel extensively.
Way too much.
So like the fact that we're right in the same city, we just need to get a month's worth of work done.
Exactly.
Because that's who we are. Passive income. Passive income is my favorite topic to actually talk about. Yeah, I could probably do an entire episode on passive income right now. It's the love of my life.
Yeah, Tori's very passionate about passive income right now. I'm
super passionate because I like to travel and I don't like to be...
Oh, I hate fucking doing things
I don't like my income being tied to the amount of hours that I work. Like, you know? Like, oh, you work an hour and you get $20. You work an hour, you get $100 or whatever that is. Like, I don't want the amount of time that I spend doing something to be the direct reflection of my financial income. So the only way to make that a situation is passive income, so that you can set something up that either is really low maintenance for you to be generating income or no maintenance. Like,
yeah, no, it's crazy. I got Tori on this like book binge. So if you ever end up, anyone that ever works with me knows that like I'm the biggest book bitch you'll ever meet. Like, and it's crazy because people always think I'm nuts because of like how I like branded myself on social media. But like you'll catch me reading a book probably Friday and Saturday night most times. Literally. Unless I'm at the club until noon. It's like you get one or the other. Like there's
no in between.
There's no in between. Like I'm either reading a book like a wholesome bitch in my bed, like on a Friday and a Saturday night, or I'm at the club until literally 2 days straight, and that's all you get. But it's funny because I think when I met Tori, like we connected on the fact that we wanted to like actually build things that work and things that are sustainable, and we both dealt with business relationships that just didn't work out, and things that essentially we were very passionate about, we put a lot of time and effort into. And I think that we really connected on especially that, because a lot of girls, especially in the OnlyFans space, don't really like want to do much with their brand. Like they're kind of just there for the money. And no shade to you if you're there for the money, but I think
we're all there for the money, but some people are there for, it depends on what you want to do with the money. Like I personally want to make the money to put into businesses to build something, so that when we already had the one scare with OnlyFans of, oh my God, like are they actually shutting us down type thing. So, like, I never want to feel that again, and I've felt that with Instagram before, and that's how I got on OnlyFans with the recession. Not the recession. Oh my God.
Recession.
We went into a recession, but with the pandemic and everything, was just I didn't want to feel like my income was all coming from one place. So I've really taken OnlyFans as an opportunity to essentially be my own investor in my own companies. And yes, like, that doesn't mean that I can buy like Range Rovers and freaking.
Okay, see that's the thing is people like don't understand
crazy stuff and like have 50 Chanel bags. But,
I haven't. So that's because you chose that. You know what I mean? Yeah. To reinvest in your businesses, because I realize like there's a lot of girls that I hang out with that are like making the same amount of money as me, but they have
all the things,
and like they're like, where is your stuff? And I'm like, bro, like I've been building businesses for the past year. Like, the money that I make goes straight back into my businesses, and
Literally.
then like that's pretty much it. Like, and I was like, it's not like I make like a little amount of money. Like, business just costs a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
But-
that's the thing, is a lot of people don't realize how much business costs, and the saying, like, I love cliches in the way that, like, it's a cliche for a reason. Like, it just makes sense. It costs money to make money. Like, we're not sitting here today for free. Like, none of life is free. Like, for you to be able to make money, especially your own money, and not be working in someone else's company, working for someone else's dream, it really takes you investing in yourself. And that's not just the belief in yourself, but investing financially in yourself. And that's hard.
Yeah. So, and I think that that's what people don't get about business. And I think that's what we want to explain, especially that it's not only time investment. It's not only money investment. It's also like a belief in yourself.
It's a spiritual investment.
Literally.
Like, you really have to believe without a doubt that, like, what you're doing is going to be successful, or it's not going to be. Because how are you going to get people on board for your dream that, like, you don't even believe in 100%? Like,
and that's why I think it's crazy. To me, I know that I could be successful in anything I do because I was able to build a really successful business that I had like 10% belief in.
yeah.
You know, and like, it's crazy because I mean, if anyone saw Wolf's success, like we had like over 500,000 followers, and
Literally.
I believed in it probably 25%. You know, and
Like, I just want to do this and see what happens.
yeah, and it was also one of those, like, the blind leading the blinds, like, you know,
Yeah.
because we were talking about OnlyFans, and like, we barely knew anything about OnlyFans at the time, and we were just teaching people like as we went, and then we started getting more guests on and trying to give people more exposure, and I think that's kind of when I started to like fall out with it a little bit. It stopped feeling like in alignment, because in the beginning I think it was more like just like shooting the shit with my friends, and I like had a good time doing that. But then when we started just like trying to get bigger guests that had bigger followings that would like shout us out and stuff, it started to like lose the authenticity that I was like really there for.
Well, I feel like what you were talking about kind of shifted from like teaching people about OnlyFans and hearing people's stories to like talking specifically about like sexual experiences that you had gone through, or like those guests that were coming on your show had gone through. And I don't think that was ever what your intention was for the show.
It was not our intention at all.
So then you were picking guests like that weren't really, they were aligned with what the show was, but not really like what you felt your brand was. So that would definitely
so I think also
off.
it like also I think our opinions on OnlyFans also shifted, you know, like how we were both going about making our content shifted. I took the model approach, and so what I was doing was a lot different than what a lot of other people were doing. I was investing a lot of money into my content, and I was creating professional content, and that's how I got into modeling. And it's funny because also like I took an unconventional route into modeling by producing my own content, and then now I get modeling jobs, you know, where other people go the other route where they're signed to an agency and then they are working for, you know, brands and stuff like that, where I went the other way. So it is interesting. I guess we'll probably be able to talk about both sides of it because Tori came up the other way.
Oh, literally, yeah. Like a lot of people, most of my following is on Instagram, and that's really come from like, I remember when Instagram was something that people would just use as a filter app on their phone for their pictures and their nudes and stuff. Like the day that Instagram went public, there was a girl in my school who all her nudes were on Instagram because she was using the filters, and like everyone saw them. And that was like my first introduction to Instagram.
No way.
The way that I actually got on Instagram, I was like, ugh, I don't really care about this. Like, I don't really want to do this. Like, I have Facebook. Like, what is this stupid shit? Like,
wait, really?
I don't understand it. Yeah.
How did you get into Instagram in New York?
Of course, it was junior year. And this guy made a bet with me. He was like, okay, this week, if you make an Instagram and I make an Instagram, whoever gets to 200 followers
200
first,
followers? You're like, bitch.
whoever gets to 200 followers first has to buy the other one lunch for a week.
Lunch for a week?
I was like, bro.
Like, game on, motherfucker.
He was like, but no bikini photos and no cleavage photos. I was like, you think I need to Okay, I don't need to do any of that. I
Bro,
literally,
I was like clouded on Instagram.
bro, by the end of the day, I had 200 followers. The end of
Ho's
the day.
mad? Ho's mad?
Ho's mad. Because I just literally, the second he said that, I was like, all right, I would save X amount of dollars every day of that lunch that I'm going to make him buy. This
You
is
were a business person from day
That's
one.
like, I've always looked at this like a business, literally. I was like, okay, I'm going to save this money. If I get 200 followers, I'll just walk around and ask like everyone, it's a small school, like everyone to follow me.
Ironically, it's funny that last week I was actually having a conversation with one of my guy friends, and we were talking about Instagram, and he was like, oh, I should like post more on Instagram, and like we were talking about like watching stories and stuff on Instagram, and he was like, you don't watch people's stories on Instagram? I was like, bro, like Instagram is like my business. And then
literally, I watch stories, but it's like more informative.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm always looking for like content ideas.
Yeah, like
or
my
I'm like,
Instagrams are very boring.
I am
place.
very good at like reverse engineering business models, so I like to look at Instagram for that. And it's so fucking funny. Like my other guy friend was like, why would she? He was like, why would she use Instagram like you use Instagram? That's like checking your email at the club. Like
Literally.
she doesn't want to do that. Like I was like, bro, no, I don't like to. I was like, I don't look at people's stories because I don't care what you're up to. Two, also like it feels very like I'm like, well, that's working to me.
I just know like everything that I put on my story is very calculated. It's very thought out.
Calculated as fuck.
Most of the time, there are times where like I'm going to festivals or I'm on vacation. That's why I love vacation, because you very much get the authentic me in my travel vlog and when I'm on vacation. But usually, my stories are very thought out, because who the fuck looks good every single day? Like, I'm sorry, like that's not a thing. So if you have stuff that depends on your income and you have to look good every day on your Instagram, you're going to plan it out. So to me, everyone else's story, at least like majority of the people I follow, because your workspace becomes who your friends are, I know that their story is not who they really are. I'll watch people if they have like a lot of close friends stories up. I'll watch that real quick. But like your regular story of like you promoting whatever drink or you like,
seriously.
I know I do the same thing. Like I don't need to watch it.
It just cracks me up too, is because so many people have such a problem with my social media persona, and it's like I get into fights with people about this, and I'm like, I'm not that bad, like I promise. I'm like, bro, I'm like actually reading a book on a Friday night, but like I mean I make it look bad. I was like, I do OnlyFans, bro. Like I'm like, what do you want me to do?
To be completely honest, like most of my friends that do OnlyFans are in their house reading a book on a fucking Friday night, or like watching Netflix with their dogs.
I promise.
Like when I tell you, like I've never met a more like
homebody
community, literally.
Bro, I can't even
because
go
think
out.
about it, like we are all people that decided like I want to make a lot of money and never leave my house and never have to do anything that I don't want to do. So imagine if you had no reason to leave your house other than your own will to just do something.
No, and it cracks me up too. And
your income is actually better if you stay in your house. The more you stay in your house, the more money you make. Like
sobriety. As I'm drinking my tequila Red Bull from my sippy cup. But no, it cracks me up is actually also like I have like chronic like social anxiety.
Bro, I get such
bad social anxiety now, and it's like literally like, especially when I go out clubbing, like I wear a hat every time, and still my guy friends are like, I've never seen a girl get picked up more like in a place where
you're giving off the like I don't give a fuck vibe.
Yeah, so I'm like literally wearing like a
like pick me.
Yeah, no,
I'm a hot girl. Like come date me. Like guys are like, whoa, like that's aggressive.
Yeah,
if you're like, bro, leave me alone. They're like, wow, why doesn't she care?
No, literally, and it's crazy. I always wear a hat, and I show up in the middle of the night, and I literally like don't want anyone to look at me, and people are always like staring at me, and I'm like okay, like, and then
you do like the celebrity. You're like, bro, you don't know who I am. No, but in a hat, like, don't look at me. And you're like, oh my god, who is she? Why shouldn't I be looking at her?
But then of course, then I get a bunch of DMs later being like, oh, I saw you, and then I'm like, or I'm like, I hear someone scream my name, and I'm like, it's not me. I'm like, who's that? And then people will like meet me like at the club, or they'll see me. I remember there was this one day I went out and I had a bunch of DMs being like, I saw you out, like this is you, like sending me my OnlyFans, and I was like, they're like, yeah, and they're like, I saw you from this person's story, but I already follow you there, and I was like, yeah.
I genuinely do not like to post where I am until after I've left, because I've had weird situations. Like there was this one time, I don't really like to travel alone. I don't like to go anywhere alone, to be completely honest.
I have a stalker that lives in my building now.
I'm
so
about to
if everyone
sound
wants to hear that one.
super scared of life, but I grew up watching Law and Order SVU in New York. That's what you do when you're home from school and you're sick. Like you watch Law and Order SVU all day. That's just what it is.
I've never
like,
seen that show.
So
but yeah.
I don't know if it's natural or if it's because I watch this show so much. I have like a ridiculous fear of being abducted or kidnapped.
Okay,
Pair
well,
that
you
with
should
the fact
be
that
scared.
I have multiple stalkers.
I'm like, I would be scared.
I was literally on the subway on the way to work one day, and I got a Snapchat from a random username of myself on the subway saying, I see you.
No, dude, okay, crazy is, so there was a guy that literally was coming to my apartment every weekend, flying from New York, literally to like come and like literally was like looking for me every week. And I live at a hotel, basically, okay? Basically.
She is London Tipton.
Yes, basically. And then, of course, I find out now the guy moved in to my building and befriended literally a guy I used to hook up with. And I was like, so they probably have like a Caitlyn hate club, and yeah, it's bad, bro. And it's so bad, especially because that kid knows that I like am like horrified of this kid, and I'm like, and you befriend him because why?
You really find the most interesting characters, I
really
swear.
do. They find me.
No, not at this point. At this point, there's always a story. You gotta be looking for them at this point.
I think
because I have never
met someone that meets
I'm like
crazier
out there,
people.
and I've never met someone that meets crazier people than you do.
I really meet the biggest creatures ever, and I don't understand. I think my face says like, creatures, please speak
no,
to
like
me.
she's the person when she leaves my house and I know she's like going home, I'm like, please try not to get into any shenanigans.
Yeah, like don't get like okay, wait, actually the other day,
she'll get in the Uber. In just an Uber ride, I'll be like, bro, how did you mess up an Uber ride?
Yeah, okay, so actually the other day, literally, I got kicked out of an Uber, and then the next Uber picked me up, and then he was like, oh my God, you're a model? And then he was like, holy shit, turns around, he's like, you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my life. And then like I said something about like how I was like on a magazine cover, and he was like, oh my God, like, can I see the magazine? And I was like, oh, I happen to have it in my bag, like, because I was gonna show it to my team. And then he was like, oh, wow. And he, like, gets out of the Uber. And also, like, I'm in Joshua Tree, like, secluded. Like, there is no one around. And it's just me. And this dude is, like, looking at my picture. And he's like, oh, can I keep the magazine? And I'm like, oh, my God.
At this point, yeah.
I'm like, please.
At this
I'm
point,
like,
just spare my life and keep the magazine.
He's like, can I take some pictures of you? So all of a sudden. And I'm like, yeah, like that would only happen to me though. Like seriously.
That's the FaceTime I got. And I'm like, and it was finished by like, oh, and you should come to Joshua Tree. I'm like, bitch,
I was like, I hate it here, honestly.
You think with this misfortune.
Yeah, my crystals fell in his car,
about to be in retrograde, I'm going to Joshua Tree.
Oh, I cried the whole time. I was like, I hate it here.
I'm like, not only am I not going, but you should probably leave.
Yeah, no, it was awful. And then I knew it was all going downhill too when my crystals fell out of my bag in the stalker Uber's car, and I was like, keep them. At this point, please. I'm like, I don't know. You can have something of mine, please. Not my dignity though.
No, just get me to my destination.
Yeah, but I was actually a little horrified because I'm like, we're secluded in Joshua Tree, like no one else is there. I don't know anyone.
Well, that doesn't really make a difference because fake Uber tried to abduct me in well, it wasn't daylight, but it was on freaking 13th Street and 9th Avenue, right in front of Catch, in front of a giant group of people, like hella people everywhere. Oh. I got in.
Okay.
So, secluded or not, they're out there, bro.
They are out there. I'm telling you, actually, even like the guy at my apartment, that guy, I swear to God, he looks so normal too. Like, you would think, and I remember seeing him being like, oh fuck, like, and I was like, I told the bartender, I was like, keep the double shots coming, and she was like, what the fuck? I was like, that guy, he's scary. It's like, well, he lives here now, and I'm like, well, that's good because he should not. And everyone's like, can you please report him? And I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna report a 24-year-old dude. Like, I'm like, I could.
Well, what would you even report him for?
I don't know. Coming around me. This guy keeps looking at me. Get him out.
Literally, get him out of the building.
Well, because he was like blowing me up. Like,
someone check his credit score. He's got to be falsifying something. Get him out of here.
I literally was like, it was so fun. I used to make jokes about it, and I'd be like, yo, someone get this guy a job. Like, this guy's always at the pool, and he flies from New York every weekend. For a while, he was flying, like, every single weekend to, like, just hang out at the pool and, like, wait for me. And then he would, like, follow me into restaurants and all this stuff. And I remember, like, saying to, like, literally Rachel, I was like, there's this guy, and I'm scared of him. And I don't go outside because of him. And then he walks in, and she was like, you were not lying. And I was like, I was not lying. I told you.
I literally told you.
I'm telling you, when you hang out with me, weird things happen. And, like, I summoned
No, they really do.
They, like, really do. It's not okay. But
Luckily, like, I'm always with D-Cut usually when I'm hanging out with you, so, like...
Yeah, so nothing weird would happen. Yeah, I know. Well, okay, but even... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even D-Cut has met some people that like, are scary toward me. And he's like...
Yeah, and he's like, Caitlin, what the fuck?
Stay away from them. He's like, I'm even scared. And D-Cut, like, you would not fuck with D-Cut.
No one would fuck with D-Cut. And, like, if he's a little nervous, which he doesn't even get nervous, he's just like, I don't want to deal with this situation, so can we leave?
But he was like, I'm scared of that guy. Like, that guy scares me.
There are some sketchy people out there, bro.
Especially in Miami.
That's why I hate Miami. I really wind up in Miami way too much.
You do end up in Miami too much. I keep actually getting...
I really hate Miami.
I feel like I, like, love it now, but I also feel like I am now starting to feel the Florida vibes a little bit. Like, if I leave my building, I'm like, I'm in Florida. You know? Yeah. But if I stay in my building, I'm like, I'm in a palace. Like, that's it. Like, I'm in the fortress. But
bro, she needs a fingerprint to get to her place.
Yeah, like but thank God, because
seriously, you got all the stalkers in your damn building.
But the neighbors are friends with the stalker, and they live in my elevator. So. Yeah,
but they can't get to your floor, right?
No, unless my outside door is unlocked. So I keep that door locked with, like, boxes against it. And people are like, you're crazy. And I keep boxes against my regular door too. And they're like, you, like, have yourself, like, triple locked in here, and you're still
I'm a
scared.
female and I live alone.
I was like, yeah.
In a fortress.
Literally.
Like, no one's coming to save me if someone gets in here.
Literally, I would have to jump off the balcony. And I'm like, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Yeah, because you have one exit.
Also, when I think about it, too, if I were to, like, yell, I don't think anybody hears me.
No, not at all. You're playing music and you haven't had a noise complaint? No one's going to hear you if you yell.
I literally heard my neighbors the other day for the first time, and I'm like, does that mean they hear me? And I was like, I don't think so. Like,
I think a good rule of thumb is if you can hear someone, they can hear you.
But I've only heard them once, and I've lived there since, like, April.
Maybe they travel as much as you do.
I doubt it. They sound like regular dudes. No, like, for what I know, it's probably my stalker on the other end of the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, who knows, bro? I, like, actually was triggered because I'm scared of the pool. But I think now
of your own pool.
Yeah, but now he knows, I think, is because I think my neighbor, like, warned him, like, she's, like, kind of horrified of you. Like, I wouldn't. But, like, I mean, still probably, like, freak her out a little, but like, less. Like, maybe don't do it as much.
Oh my God.
You know?
Well, technically, if you're by the pool all day, then he might be an entrepreneur as well.
Well, that's what my friends said. They were like, what does he mean? Like, they're like, Caitlin, if this kid has enough money to fly down every weekend, stay where you live, which is expensive, and then can linger by the pool.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, they're like, clearly he has enough time and money to fucking linger.
This is what I'm talking about with passive income. Yeah. If you want to be able to stalk the girl of your dreams, you got to get some type of passive income.
Yeah, literally. Like, honestly, take notes from that guy, because he has enough time and energy to stalk me. His passive income must be fire. Everyone else be at their day job. They don't have time to hang out at the pool.
Literally. That's when I'm driving in LA and, like, there's hella traffic at, like, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm like, bro, where are you guys going? Why doesn't anyone have a job?
I used to wonder that all the time. I was like, where is everyone going? And they're like, you don't do shit either. And
literally, and then I'm sitting here like, what am I doing in this traffic? Yeah. Where am I going?
Yeah, and it's always, like, something stupid, especially, like, us for, like, you know, models, influencer vibes. I'm like, gotta get my lashes filled. I'm like, my hard task of the day. Oh yeah, today also I was gonna go get. I was gonna say Janice can hear me over here, but I was gonna go get my ass suctioned.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like,
at Pete's Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was scared because I was like, I don't want to have to sit on my ass for 4 hours and then have to sit on my ass tomorrow on a plane for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
After
getting it suction cupped. That would kind of suck.
That would hurt like a bitch. So I was like, okay.
I feel like I'm always about to go and then I change my trip for some reason. and like either leave earlier or have to leave later because I'm doing something that I then can't even go to P-Check. So like I haven't been yet.
Is this like a real thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we are talking about butt stuff on here. In a different way. But
In a different way. But yeah, that's actually my friend's business. She's an entrepreneur. She built that herself with
love
her
that.
OnlyFans money.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, she's giving us all the fat, juicy asses.
Yes. She's like, I know you guys need this.
No.
Because I need this. So
we
allow me
do.
to help you. Help me help you.
But actually, that is a great business because I really need my ass suction cupped because I'm not trying to go to the gym. Yeah. I was like,
Honestly,
yeah.
my favorite is M Sculpt by far, though.
Really? You like M
I
sculpt?
do like M Sculpt. It's like a shock. It's like electric.
Does it hurt?
A little bit.
I want ass shots. Have
They
you
don't
had
work that well. I haven't gotten ass shots, but every like person that I've talked to or gotten a consultation with like says how much money it actually takes to have results, and I would just rather squat than spend that money.
True. I know. Actually, when I used to
squat heavy and eat heavy.
I was gonna say when I used to work out, I used to have to eat every 30 minutes, and it was so annoying. Like I wouldn't be able to hang out. Well, not like I like to hang out with anyone anyways. So it's
I was
not.
to say,
a
who are
big
you
deal.
hanging out with? That it
No,
was
literally, honestly, I remember one day I like broke my routine and I just like cried and I was like, I need to go home and meditate. And like drink my protein shake, I'm going crazy. And then I like just gave up because everyone thought I was nuts. And that's why your network is your net worth, people. Because
well, 100%. Like there's been a lot. There's been so many times that like I've needed someone around me to check me for on something. Like, bro, you need to get your shit together. Like you need to level up. Like you're stagnant. Like you're not like pushing yourself the way that you usually are pushing yourself. And that doesn't come from just osmosis. That comes from surrounding yourself with people who know when you're on your A game and who push you to be on your A game, not because they want you there, but because they know that you want yourself there. Who you surround yourself with is extremely important, especially when you're an entrepreneur, because you don't have a boss to answer to. You are your boss. You don't have someone that's making you not go on vacation. You're not making yourself go on vacation. You don't have like, oh, babe, sorry, like I can't do dinner tonight because my boss is an asshole. Like you are that asshole. So it really like, the people around you need to be very understanding of when you're on your grind, and they need to be so understanding that when you're off of it, they don't get excited that you're spending more time with them or that you're having downtime. They're concerned because they know that you want to be on your grind.
Yeah, I think that that's a huge thing about being an entrepreneur, especially like when you're building your own business and you have your own passion projects, is being like pretty transparent with people, like especially about what you want, because it's like a lot of times I have people working for me and a lot of times they don't understand my vision and they're trying to push my vision in the wrong way. And I've been like, honestly, like that just doesn't align with what I'm trying to build. And I get it. You're trying to move quicker, or you're trying to make your money, make your bag, or you want to be paid a certain way, or you want a certain amount of involvement. But like, I think that with business, especially like when you're trying to build something with longevity, you need to be completely transparent with the people around you, like your friendships, relationships, your business partnerships, to like tell people, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how to communicate with me, this is when I'm available, and when I say this or that, please respect it. You know, I do have a lot of friends that check me, and sometimes people are right, sometimes people are wrong, I will say. I think also a lot of times in business, a lot of people's ego gets in the way.
100%.
Because there is no one to check you, and that is the point. You know?
I feel like a lot of times as people start to excel in business, especially if they come from nothing, you start to feel like, oh, if I wasn't right, like I wouldn't be this successful. And then you start to kind of surround yourself with yes people because you feel like your opinion is the best opinion and all you want to hear is more people tell you that. And that's a very dangerous situation to fall into, because I honestly feel like the most valuable person on your team is the person that tells you no, because that's the person that is not scared of you. That's the person that has their own opinion and doesn't really care what your opinion is about that. They disagree. And those are the people you need to surround yourself with, not negative people.
Yeah.
I'm going to clarify. Not the people that are like, oh, you ain't shit, your dreams aren't going to be anything. The people that are like, you know, I really like don't agree with the way that you executed that, and I feel like you could have executed it better if you did X, Y, and Z. The helpful criticism, not the people that just shoot you down and have nothing productive to say to build you up, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say that is extremely toxic because I dealt with that a lot in the past year where people were trying to tell me I was not shit when I was pretty much the root of the whole business. So I'm like, okay, please tell me I'm not shit one more time and I will quit. I'm like, good luck without me. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I've had to do that in a lot of businesses. I've been like, good fucking luck.
I've had to do that in a lot of businesses, a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships. Like, I'd rather leave, and this is something that I had to learn, and this is not how I've always been. Like, I'd rather leave before it gets toxic because I feel like if I leave before it gets toxic, we have a chance at like some type of relationship in the future. But if we get toxic, if we start throwing hate words, if we start really poking at each other's flaws and like fucked up shit like that, there's no chance of the comeback. You're going to start talking trash about me. I'm going to start talking trash about you. There's going to be hurt feelings. So like, if I feel like things are starting to feel a little off and like not align, I'll have the conversation with someone. But if the conversation doesn't go the way that it should be going, then I would just rather take a break from you in my life at that point, because every energy matches energy. So if I'm matching to you, and the way it works is like you can't bring people up. People only bring you down. It's really hard to bring someone's energy up that doesn't want to bring their own energy up. That's like almost impossible. It's like trying to make someone happy that doesn't want to be happy actively. Like, you can't do that. So to me, if you're choosing to be in that lower vibration, I'm going to choose to separate myself from you at risk of my vibration lowering with yours, because that's when I'm going to start getting defensive. I'm going to start getting aggravated and angry and start saying things out of turn that take me out of my natural character. So the people you surround yourself with are extremely important, not just for your brain food and you like who they are, they tell funny jokes. Like, it's extremely important when it comes to your vibrational energy as well.
I think this is exactly what I was going to say before, is that things don't just change. You have to choose change.
Oh, yeah, no.
And I think people just expect to grow up, get more mature, like get smarter at what they're doing, act smarter, like attract better people. People just think things are going to happen for them, and that's not true. And that's why you have to pick people that are like actively on the same path as you. And also you have to pick and choose your battles. Like, maybe this just doesn't serve me anymore. In the past week, I've let go of a lot of friends. Like, and that's like so weird to say, like friends, business partners. And I guess there was a full moon this week. I'm extremely empathic. So like, it was very like intense. Fuck you. But like, not really. It was kind of like, honestly, with some of the people especially, I was kind of like, hey, listen, like maybe this like relationship has like served its course, and personally I don't feel like fighting for it, you know? Like, and I had friends be like I had one friend be like, well, I'm just extremely loyal to you. I don't like the way you make me feel, but I like want to like keep this friendship because I'm loyal to you. And I was like, that sounds weird. You know what I mean? I was like, because if I don't make you feel good about yourself, then choose that for yourself. That I don't make you feel good about yourself, and choose better for you. Like, and I was like, honestly, I'm not offended. And like the argument went in the way where it's like, well, clearly I want to be your friend because like I've been fighting with you for hours over our friendship, but like I just want to tell you like you should treat me better, or like this is how I want you to treat me. And I was like, hey, listen, like honestly, you know, I think that this sounds really toxic on your end. It doesn't feel that toxic on my end. You know, if that's really how you feel about me, then for yourself, choose better. You know, I was like, because personally, like, I know I'm probably not going to change in regards to that.
Well, no, I've had that same falling out with a friend too, where it's like, you're upset about core personality traits that I have that are not like,
I can't change that about myself. You know,
I am a scatterbrained, controlled chaos bitch. Like, I haven't even booked a ticket for the flight that I need to be on in 48 hours.
This is why we get along so well.
That's literally who I am as a person. And if you're going to get mad at me for that, then we just need to not be friends, because I'm not going to change. I've been like that my entire life.
No, me too.
It's honestly not an issue for me. I like being spontaneous.
Me too.
I like flying by the seat of my pants. I like not knowing what every day is going to bring every freaking day. Like, that sounds so terrifying to me, to know what's going to happen in a month from now.
That's
for sure.
Well, that's crazy. Actually, I got into a fight with my sister over that the other day, because she was like, oh, why didn't you plan ahead? And I was like, ahead? I'm like, this is ahead. I'm like,
ahead is like 48 hours out. Like, 48 hours out.
Like,
people are asking me about Halloween. I'm like, It's September. I don't know where I'm gonna be next week.
You were on the phone before. And you're like, bro, I only know what I'm doing up until tonight. And I literally was thinking the same thing. I was like, all I know is I have to be on a plane tomorrow.
I literally get in my bed at night. I fill out the night part of my productivity journal and my 5-minute journal, and I look at my schedule, and that's when I know when I have to wake up the next day. Yeah. But if you ask me in the day, I will not know, and that's because I genuinely like the past is in the past, and the future we do not have yet. All I have is the present.
Future we don't have.
So I'm completely invested in today. If I'm thinking. Of course, like, there's future goals, there's planning things, but, like, if I'm fully into today...
Don't remember that. We're calculated.
Unless it's
we're scatterbrained, but we're
like,
calculated.
There's a ranking system for my attention, and if it's occurring today, obviously, it's the highest on the ranking system.
That is true.
So, thank you guys for listening to the Bossed Up Bible. I am Tori.
I'm Caitlin.
This was our first episode, so it wasn't that directed, but you got to know a little bit about who we are and what we think and how we feel. So
you got some jokes in there too.
A little bit of joking, a little bit of joking, a little bit of butt stuff.
Yeah, a little
butt stuff.
See you next time. Okay.